Okay, welcome back to part 2, ladies and gentlemen, of Absolute Mad Lab's Shoko Asahara. People were falling unconscious yesterday, and let's just get straight into this. Well, intro, of course. Did you drink your water today? Hey, drink your water. It's pretty early for me in the morning. I love waking up this early. Good morning, everybody. I don't know what time it is for you, but good morning. If it's not good morning, good afternoon. If it's night when you're watching this, good night. Well, anyways, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sending out a lot of love. Let's just get straight into this. Everything stays the same from my other reaction videos, and yeah, I just want to get straight to this because this was kicking off. So let's see.
So panic spread throughout the whole apartment block and the neighbourhood. As a result of this strange gas, 7 people died and hundreds of people were hospitalised. But funnily enough, the apartment block in the neighbourhood just so happened to contain the homes of 3 judges who were overseeing a land dispute case that and Rikyo were involved in and were losing. But even despite that, the police and Japanese intelligence didn't suspect the cult. They actually thought it was North Korea. Shoko...
What? They needed shirt. Oh, shoot, my voice. See. I'm gonna lose my tonsils by the end of this YouTube career. No, in all seriousness, they needed Sherlock Holmes on the case. My voice isn't getting any better. Okay, let's continue. You're gonna have to deal with this for the video.
Then received information that the police were coming for him and they were going to open an investigation. So Shoko decided to do something that he already had planned for another purpose, but he was going to do it earlier than anticipated to divert the police's attention away from him. 20th of March 1995. 5 members of Rikyo board 5 separate metro trains, all of which are passing through Kasumigaseki district and Nagata.
Please do not tell me they brought gas canisters? What? Please don't tell me they brought gas canisters like they're playing Batman Arkham Asylum and Shoko was feeling like the Joker and had his like minions carry her, or Scarecrow and fear gas. Please tell me they did not gas a metro or something like that. That's what he said, right? Wait.
Of March 1995. 5 members of Rikyo board 5 separate metro trains.
Metro trains. Oh my goodness. Please tell me they didn't Scarecrow event drop this whole metro.
All of which are passing through Kasumigaseki district and Nagatacho district, which is the headquarters of the Japanese parliament. All of these men are carrying umbrellas with pointed tips and parcels wrapped with newspaper. And in each of these parcels was 2 sealed bags of chemicals which, when combined, create sarin gas. While on the trains, the men sat their packages on the floor and stood up to get off the train. Right before they left the trains, they would stab the packages several times with the pointed tips of the umbrellas, and then they would leave the train. The train doors would then close and the train would carry on its journey, while the packages on the trains were mixing together and creating sarin gas, which was evaporating throughout the train carriage and would then go on to contaminate the train, every single station the train stopped at, and then finally the target districts, which the trains were all scheduled to arrive at the exact same time. People on the targeted carriages started coughing, choking.
I think he has an incense going in the background. I did this during live streaming once, and that created, if y'all remember, it created such a nice vibe with the lo-fi and everything, but I feel like he put it in there for purposes of the gas part. But what is... Okay, let me just continue. So they really did pull like a Scarecrow and some fear gas. What does sarin gas do? Forgive me, I just don't know. I'm assuming... Is it the chemical they've been dealing with this entire time and I haven't been paying attention? Is it just going to knock people out?
And fallen unconscious, and when the trains arrived at their next station, everyone would jump out of the targeted carriages in a panic, and the train station staff started removing the unconscious people from the carriages. But the Japanese train staff, being so damn efficient with their metro system, simply told commuters not to aboard the affected carriages that had the packages in them, but to board all of the other carriages attached to the same train. And then they just sent the train on its way, where the sarin packages in the affected carriages could contaminate every other station along the way, as
Wait. What? Why?
well as spread to all of the other carriages that were attached to
Wait. Yeah. What? Yeah. What? What?
on the train, which it did. In some cases, the station staff actually removed the packages from the trains and just left them lying there on the platform with all the people around. In another instance, one of the train staff who actually removed the packages collapsed, so his fellow train staff picked him up to take him to a back room. It was a little small concealed back room that had about 5 people in it. What they didn't realise is one of the train staff who came in to actually help them take care of the unconscious man was holding a bin bag with the...
Oh my gosh. They need to get Team Rainbow on this. What, bro? Oh wait, okay. Let me just see how it plays out.
Packages in it, and he just left it sitting on the table in this small compressed room so that he could help them assist to the unconscious man. And basically, every single person in this tiny room got poisoned. To be completely fair to the station staff, they had absolutely no idea what was going on, and they had no idea that this was a chemical attack. And it's something that they'd never been trained for. This was like the only terrorist attack that had ever happened in Japan since World War II. So they had no idea, so you can't blame them too much for this. Ultimately, every emergency services imaginable.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm aware of that, and I just feel like I forget in the moment, just because you're in the heat of the moment, just like how they were in the heat of the moment. I forgot that they're frantically running around, and they're just like, they're kind of just like trained staff, so you wouldn't really imagine them to, I guess at like a certain point, you're just, you live so long in a certain thing without, like, through certain days without anything happening that you don't think in the back of your mind that this can happen to you. But I feel like for some reason, being a freaking gamer, you would know exactly what is going on right away, man. That's what I'm talking about when the zombie apocalypse happens. Maybe half. I don't know who's gonna die out there, but like, the Dying Light players were surviving. Nah. But yeah, I really do get that. Okay, they would probably move the bags, not knowing exactly what the bags are. Damn, not one person thought that. Like, oh, damn, they didn't like radio, get word to everyone. Damn, I guess it was happening. Yeah, it just happened too fast.
Even the military were deployed to all of the affected stations in full hazmat gear so that they could rescue people. And everyone knows that the Japanese metro system is famous for being extremely crowded.
Yeah.
It was bad. Ultimately, the attack instantly killed 12 people, seriously injured another 50 who died at a later point, and thousands of people were injured by the effects of sarin gas.
Just imagine getting up one day. You got work to get to. You hop on this crowded metro just to succumb to a terrorist attack. Like, that makes you want to walk to work.
Hospitals and medical centres in the area were completely...
Rest in peace to the lives lost. That's so dumb. Like, that's just like, it just seems like at times it's just needless. Just really needless violence. Yeah, what time would you even find it necessary? That just sucks.
Filled to the brim with people needing treatment. There were even some people who were left severely brain damaged by the effects of the sarin gas, and they're now permanently disabled. There is footage of interviews with these people, but I'm not going to show it because it's actually quite upsetting. Now, you might think
oh my gosh. I didn't even think about that, but now that I think about it now, when he goes to like research each of these people that do these insane things, I bet it sucks what he finds. Damn. I don't know if I could be someone who did that. Damn. I'm glad Count Dankula is one of the YouTube channels that does crazy shit like this. I don't know if I can read stuff like that, and like I'd be way too I wouldn't even, I just, oh man, it would challenge me to make videos. Even talking about sensitive topics are challenging for me at times. They're not challenging, I just like rather avoid them than talk about them. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, this is, I guess I'm kind of dipping into a whole different gate, or like, you know, dipping into a whole different river that I could go down with what I mean, but oh man, it's just like researching guys like this. Yeah, that would mess me up halfway through. I'd be like, man, I don't know if I want to finish this project. This is just wrong. But that right there would have messed me up. I would have hated to see the brain damage people after, bro. That's just like, oh, it's just so unnecessary. Like, and then this isn't like calling back to what I said in my last video about the like cult. I forgot what the dude's name is that had the whole Kool-Aid thing. Man, he was famous for that. But like started his like rented his own land or whatever he did and brought all his followers there and then tried to get them to do that mass suicide. In that, what was it? What happened in that? Well, the reason I brought it up was like, you know, some of them, of course, like, yeah, all the followers, whoa, that made me just question morality for a second. Okay, well, most of the followers are just, you know, innocent and blindly following, right? And at least that guy brought those people to a different place rather than trying to openly, like, that sucks. You'd imagine, like, you know, you try to keep people out of the crossfire. I'm not even trying to say like so much. I just don't even know how to word this because it's just bad either way. Innocent people died either way in each situation. But like this one had like a literal like external effect. Like no, like everyone on this metro didn't know why did this have to go down. Like, just bring. I don't know. So many questions, not enough time.
5 guys who carried out this attack must be pretty stupid, dim, and easily led people. But that wasn't the case. 2 of them had degrees in applied physics. Another had an honorary degree in applied physics. The other had a degree in artificial intelligence. And the 5th one was a scene...
AI mimicking melanin. Sorry, that's a bar from a new song. Just artificial intelligence mimicking melanin. But... that actually doesn't surprise me. I don't know why I made a face. At first it caught me off guard, but it didn't. That actually, if you think about it a little bit, like for me, like boom, brain processed it, boom, on why that would make sense instead of like it would be dumb followers. But you got to think, to have people do certain tasks, they can't really be that dumb. And I guess dumb is like really how you look at it, because technically they were dumb for doing this. It's just how you look at it. But I would think they would have to be competent at least. Like,
senior cardiologist. Ironic given the circumstances.
Oh yeah, cardiologist.
So when they are...
Yeah, that's ironic.
Aftermath, what did the 5 attackers do? Well, when each of them got off their trains and got outside the stations that they got off at, they were being waited on by other Aum Shinrikyo members in getaway vehicles so that they could escape. All 5 of them were carrying sarin antidote needles, and some of them had to actually inject themselves with the antidote because they'd accidentally poisoned themselves. All 5 members then met up at Aum Shinrikyo headquarters to give themselves a nice little pat on the back for a job well done. But little did these scumfucks know that that was going to be very short-lived, because the police and the army, enraged by what happened, went in on the cult. They went in with no lube, and they went in hard. Good. A force of 2,500 combined police and military personnel instantly raided 25 Aum Shinrikyo-owned buildings, as well as all of the homes of all of the members. 400 cult members were arrested and 50 children were taken into care. Some of the children were even wearing the stupid cult headgear as they were being taken away by the police. In the end, there was a grand total of over 500 raids. The public were even out for blood. While the police were actually escorting one of the cult members that they'd arrested, a member of the public, obviously enraged by the sarin attacks and obviously inspired by your boy Yamaguchi, just killed the cult member in front of the cops and in front of the entire crowd. Yes, there is footage of this.
What, bruh?
No, I'm not showing it. The cult did try.
Bro, what? I have to see footage. Bro, what? Someone pulled out a full Demon Slayer breathing technique on one of the cult members, bro. Please, I have to see this. Yo, if someone knows where I can find the footage, just let me know.
Try to retaliate for all of the raids, and over the next few months they tried to carry out 4 more metro attacks, but luckily all of these failed. But seeing 2 of the attacks, instead of using sarin gas, they tried to use Zyklon B. The police chief who was in charge of the operation against the cult was actually ambushed outside of his home by cult assassins, and they shot him 4.
What is going on, bro? Why does it feel like some games are inspired by this event? Oh dang! What was the timing of this event? When did all this take place? Gosh, I should really be paying attention.
Times and some.
I don't know. It just slipped my mind. Let me see. Shoko Asahara. Oh my gosh, he's labeled as a founder, bruh. Oh, I kind of spoiled it, but he was executed. He was convicted of masterminding the deadly 1995 sarin gas attack. I know this dude had to inspire some games to be made about him, or like he will forever live on as maybe like fucking one of Ubisoft's next ideas for like a Far Cry game, like possibly. Like, but that's okay. 1995.
How he managed to survive. The cult also sent a letter bomb to the Tokyo governor, but unfortunately, it was his secretary who opened it and it exploded in her face. She survived.
Thank goodness.
I don't think she takes many selfies anymore. And after months of being on the run.
Bro. What was the cult trying to accomplish? How do you lead? Okay, I just don't understand that. You guys, I'm going to give you a little cool lesson if you want a lesson on how to start a cult. No, I'm just joking. YouTube, it's a joke. I'm going to give you lessons on enlightenment, right? Usually when you become enlightened, if you notice, and I'm pretty sure this is common sense for everyone, you really do not give a fuck about the rest of the world. Like, real talk. A lot of these gurus and stuff, well, I would say the ones who are like the playboy, or like I call them the playboys, but the mascots of it, like you got Sada Guru and different gurus and yada yada and Dolores Canyon, many different like spiritual practitioners, Alan Watts. A lot of your journey is literally not involving people. So I don't know how people get brought into these traps. Like, enlightenment could literally be found on your own. I don't know how these cults and stuff or anything preach, like even how each religion, the programming from them, they be hating other religions and stuff like that. People just believe in whatever. It's like, it's funny how one cult doesn't come together and just say believe what you want to believe in and leave everybody else the fuck alone, and you will achieve enlightenment. Like, this is what all the gurus know. Shit, some people think I'm a guru or some Zen person. I'm not enlightened by any means, but I'm Zen. And I'll tell you, that is Zen right there. There is your lesson. If you want to start, let me not say that. But seriously, how do these groups, I don't understand how these groups get away with like actually being able to tell someone what enlightenment is. Enlightenment is whatever it means to you. But it's like, also, the moment a person starts acting like they're super like, okay, I feel like there's a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers who became YouTubers, and maybe like tons of celebs and everybody who truly believes in themselves at one point understands that if you're moving like at the highest degree of yourself, being yourself, that you're operating through a divine force, because you know the whole God is you and you are God whole thing. It's like, know that for yourself. Your relationship between you and the divine and your higher self, or whatever you call it, the universe, is your business. And that's it. Anytime someone starts running out around here acting like they have the answers, bro, that shit should Fred, I can't.
The cops finally
This
managed
topic.
to catch
I
the
can't.
big fish, Shoko Asahara, and then they started building their case.
My tattoo is so itchy, bro. Let me go get like Vaseline put on it real quick. I'll be right back. I don't want to stop this one, and the rest of the video I'm gonna let it go smooth because I've been talking for a lot. I'll make little comments here and there, but man, this is crazy that this happened, bro. All right, here we go.
Case against them, and they had tons of documents and evidence. Every single cult location that they raided contained tons and tons of documents detailing every single bit of information about the cult. And when they started going through it all, they realised just how deep this rabbit hole went. Firstly, they managed to discover that Shoko Asahara had actually gained assets worth around $1 billion. So the man had some serious money to play with. When they raided the chemical labs, they found that the cult weren't just making sarin gas, they were also making botulinum toxin, anthrax, and VX nerve gas. They also discovered that the cult had actually murdered 46 of its own members that wanted to leave the cult or who the cult believed were spies, and in some cases the cult used the chemical weapons it was making to do this. Also, remember the stunts that the cult was doing earlier? With being submerged in water and being under the ground for 6 days. Well, it turns out that before going on TV to do these stunts, the cult had to make sure that they could actually be done. So they did a bunch of private test runs with a bunch of cult members. And during the test runs, a bunch of these cult members died. And so
oh, shoot. What I was going to say, but to do it real fast so we get back to the video, is I thought he was going to end up saying that the twist was that the people that you seen on the show doing him were people that needed to be punished. So it was like they were going to do that to them anyways, but it was that they ran tests before.
So
that's what I figured that
happened was the cult got rid of the bodies by having them secretly cremated. Another thing the cops discovered was in relation to an anti-cult lawyer.
Oh my gosh, that's why some of the people went missing.
Called Tatsumi Sakamoto, who was actually planning a lawsuit against the cult. Sakamoto recorded a secret interview with Japanese TV station TBS, who were going to edit the interview so that his identity would be kept secret. But someone who worked at this TV station, most likely a member of Om Shinrikyo who was employed there, managed to get the raw, unedited footage and handed it over to the cult.
No way.
Basically revealing Sakamoto's identity. The next month, Sakamoto, along with his wife and child, disappeared.
No. No, bro. No.
And while the cops were going through the cult's documents, they discovered that the cult had actually kidnapped them, murdered them, and then disposed of the bodies. And the cops found loads of cases like this in the documents. There was loads of cases of ex-cult members and their family members who planned on blowing the whistle against the cult would mysteriously vanish, and it was because the cult was kidnapping and murdering them. The cult also made a failed assassination attempt on the Japanese royal family by spreading botulinum toxin everywhere they could outside of the royal palace. Documents also revealed that the cult were responsible for the Matsumoto City attack, the one on the apartment block that contained the judges from the land dispute trial.
Yeah.
It turns out that the cult had actually used a modified refrigerated truck to spread the gas throughout the whole neighbourhood. But wait!
The events of Rainbow Six Siege are sounding like really familiar. Nah, but like you remember the mission where Siege never really had a story. I feel like they're building on it now, right? Or no, well, the old Siege games. Let me not say that because I'm not a hardcore dedicated Siege fan, but a player. So I don't know everything about Siege, but there was like the mission where you go through like all the mustard gas or like all the gas. I don't know the gas or what it is. And I remember those dudes, and it's just sounded like that's horrible to say. That's sounding inspired.
There's more! There's a reason that Shoko was always one step ahead. It's because Om Shinrikyo members had managed to get jobs in the Japanese security services, the police, and the Japanese military.
That makes sense, though. No, that makes sense. You gotta have, you're basically like an octopus or a spider, and you have these people entangled in a web. Like, yeah, like your fucking web extends out. It makes so much sense.
And they were constantly feeding information back to the cult.
Sense.
And now that the cops had all of this information identifying who these people were, they all got arrested too. The sarin gas attack was carried out earlier than anticipated, but the cops managed to discover what its original purpose was, which was to blame the attack on America to kickstart World War III and fulfill the Doomsday Prophecy. And then the cops discovered arguably the most
Wow, bro.
batshit thing that the cult had planned. Remember those top Russian government connections we were talking about earlier? Well, it turns out that during Shoko's time in Russia, he arranged for Aum Shinrikyo members to receive military training, as well as purchase weapons ranging from AK-47s to RPGs, as well as a helicopter. And all of this was brought back to Japan. And where did they get all of this from? Directly from the Russian army. This was Russia in the 90s. You could get anything you wanted if you had the money. What was all of this for? Well, it turns...
I don't know, right? Earlier today, I seen on Twitter trending New World Order, right? And just by how some of these situations play out, man, they really do start to make you believe that there's only one world government right now, and it's... Look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just a man making videos. But tell me that's not fishy. He says this was Russia in the 90s, like it's so easy to just write off. You could get anything you want. That's just weird, bro. Like, that's just weird to me that it was so accessible for them. Something seems a little bit deeper. There has to have been, what the hell is the cult called? I'm going to just say the Asahara. There had to be Asahara members in government positions. That's just insane.
It turns out that the plan was for these Russian-trained cult commandos with their AK-47s and RPGs to abseil from the helicopter into the Japanese Imperial Palace to assassinate the Emperor and his family. So you could say the cops had quite a lot to go on, and so began Shoko Asahara's trial, which ended up lasting for 8 years. Hundreds of cult members were convicted for a vast array of crimes. Of the 5 guys who carried out the metro attack, 4 of them were sentenced to death, but a 5th one wasn't, because he cut a deal and snitched on everybody else, so he got life
It'd be your own homies
in prison instead, and Shoko Asahara himself was sentenced to death. But that isn't where it ended. Shoko's daughter, who actually remained anonymous for a number of years, eventually went public with who she is and campaigned to get her father a retrial because she feels his original trial wasn't fair because he was mentally ill. Putting it nicely.
That says enough.
However, despite her efforts, in July of this year, Shoko Asahara was executed by hanging. And there's still executions going on. 13 Aum Shinrikyo members were executed by Japan this year alone. There was some last year, and there's probably going to be even more next year. And this is...
What year is this? Oh, 2019.
It's all still in connection to the 1995 attack. But here's the funny thing. See, despite it being so long ago, Aum Shinrikyo still exists, but in 2 forms. One form is the original organisation itself, but it's changed its name to Aleph, and they're extremely apologetic about the attacks, and they denounce the attacks, and they've denounced Shoko Asahara himself. They make sure that they stick to the straight and narrow, and they only focus on the positive, nice teachings from the cult, but they are a complete shadow of what they once were. However, in 2017, they did get raided 5 times for extorting money from their members, just like they did back in the day. The other form are the followers that still have absolute fanatical devotion to Shoko Asahara, even after everything that he did, and even after all these years. These are the ones that have managed to hide from the police, and they keep their beliefs very secret. But they're all still out there, and it's very easy to weed them out. All you need to do is talk shit about Shoko in public.
オウム真理教を擁護してるとか事件を肯定してるっていう風に話がすり替わってしまって、すいません
うるさい。現に朝原を延命させる政治工作は散々やってるよね。
The funny thing is, a few days after I actually wrote this video, there was a van attack in Tokyo, and at first I thought it was terrorism related because, let's face it, it usually is, until I seen that the guy was a Japanese national, and he said that the reason he did it was in revenge for all of the executions. So even though I said that some of the cult are still out there, hiding, maybe they aren't going to hide anymore. I bet none of you were expecting any of this from the little weirdo that you were all giggling at the start of the video. But it's good to know that he finally met his doomsday. After a quick drop and a sudden stop. Burn in hell, fat anime Jesus.
It's Count Dankula on YouTube. Everybody should subscribe.
Oh, bro, I love his shirt with the pug with the red eyes, bro. Even though that shit's just like a lens flare for pug's eyes, and it's okay to be edgy, bro. What in the hell did I just watch, bro? I'm not ending the video yet, but for those who want to get out of here, much love and light. See you guys in the next video. And by the bro, like what, bro? Oh my gosh, I didn't get to put Vaseline, by the way, so that's still cheap. But that's unreal. That's unreal. Oh man, I don't even know what to say. That's just unreal. Yeah, I think I would let you guys go. That's just unreal. Shoko, Asahara, everyone. Fat anime Jesus. And you know, I actually, at the beginning of the video, if you go back, I was actually confused how this one man gained so much influence. But I also said, you know, it's not a shocker also, but there had to be more. Honestly, bro, it's insane. Is his daughter still alive? His daughter would still be alive, I imagine. Hopefully, like, she's okay and no one did, like, attack her. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I know how some people feel about family. And, you know, like, hey, you gotta sympathize with her in a way where, that is so hard to say, bro. That is so hard to say. The honest me has to say that, but I could understand someone being like, this dude did like multiple terrorist attacks, had it planned. Shit, he was gonna blame it on the U.S. Bro, that's insane. Or well, they found evidence leading to what they were planning, which I'm assuming, yes, since he's the mastermind, it would just say him. But you know, why would she try to keep her father? No, you know, I'm not going to try to ask questions. No, we're done. Nope, let's not get deeper. Tell me what y'all think down below. I'm just going to go to my string of videos I have to cover. Peace.